So the trouble with Cub Scouts, more so than Boy Scouts, is that you need parent involvement, right? We need our parents to come out and do a lot of things because we're working with younger kids that can't do things for themselves. We need adults to show up to everything for our lions and our tigers. We need adults to make sure that they're out there for our campouts and our popcorn and all these other things that don't necessarily go along with the upper level scouting program that's offered. And so in order to do that, you have to come up with new and creative ways to bring parents into the organization and get them on board with participating with you. And there's a lot of different ways that you can go about this. I'm the committee chair for PAC 962. As of right now, we have something in the neighborhood of 6 or 7 dens. My committee is made up of 12 or 13 people. And of course, we have somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 scouts currently. We're right in the middle of our popcorn selling season. And as of right now, there are 6 scouts in my entire PAC that haven't sold popcorn. When we go for service projects and things like that, we have 20 or more people show up to help. And there's a reason for that. The reason is that we tailor the program for parental involvement. I take a different approach than I think a lot of people do when it comes to getting volunteers and asking for help. The first and most steadfast rule that I follow is that good leaders always lead from the front. So if I'm going to ask other people to participate, if I'm going to tell them that we need their help, then you can rest assured I'm going to be out there at the front every time. I'm the first person to show up for something, and I'm the last person to leave every time, because people need to see that I'm out there working hard and getting things done so that they buy into the idea that they need to do the same thing. So one of the things that we do in my PAC to help with this adult support and volunteerism and things is with the committee. The committee that I have is about 12 or 13 people, and I plan events throughout the year just for my committee, right? We go out as adults, we go out as families, we go out with spouses, we do all these different things in an effort to build a camaraderie and friendship among us so that when we have to get out there and get things done, everybody's more willing to help. And I try to do the same thing with the adults. I attend den meetings, I place a lot of phone calls, I do a lot of work to build relationships with the people in my PAC so that I can leverage those relationships into putting together a program for my scout. We also run the PAC a little bit differently than other folks do. For our Lion Cubs, the Scoutmaster and I are the ones who run the Lion's Den until January. What's nice about this is that it lets me, as the committee chair, meet the new parents and build and establish relationships with them, know them by name, know their kids, but it also lets the Cub Master establish a relationship with those kids, right? And so the kids are excited to see the Cub Master. The parents, while they're being drugged along to the meetings, are occasionally excited to see me. The biggest thing that it does is it lets both the Cub Master and I learn all the new names, learn all the new people, get a sense of what their schedules are like so that we know what we can and can't ask them to do. What's also nice about this method is that it keeps any adults from being forced into a leadership position. Adults get an opportunity to see what we're about, what we do, how to camp, how to sell popcorn, how to do all these things, with the Cub Master and I walking them through it all. So this means that when we finally ask them to become leaders, they're much less likely to quit or to feel like they're overwhelmed or they've taken on too much, and they're better equipped to be good leaders and lead good meetings. And that, of course, is like a cornerstone to this program. Another thing that our PAC does is we use our funds to help pay for and offset the cost of the scouting program for all of our participants. This year, with the new dues increase, our PAC was able to offset the cost of dues by $40 for every scout that we have, and we also pay for our leaders to be able to be leaders. This allows us to push and lean a little bit harder on parents to participate in things like popcorn or service projects, because right up front, parents are getting something from us, and that's an offset of these costs that are increasing. At the end of the day, it's a culmination of a lot of hard work from a lot of individuals, right? And so I can't say enough good things about the committee and our den leaders. At the end of the day, we are able to do so much as a PAC because we have a core group of volunteers who are committed to making the PAC the best possible PAC we can be. And because of that, it makes everything easier. And I have a core group of 12 to 20 people that I can rely on to get things done. As a PAC, we ascribe to the same idea that the founder of St. Jude's Hospital did. He said that he'd rather have $1 from a million people than $1 million from one person. And that's what we try to do with everything that we do. We don't want anyone to get overloaded. We don't want to continuously let the same person who volunteers for everything do everything, because that person's going to get burned out, and it's not a sustainable method for running a PAC. So those are kind of some of my guiding principles on how I choose to run the PAC and what I do to get people involved in the PAC. At the end of the day, it's a lot of work and it's hard. And so you need people who are willing to do the work and put the time in to make it happen. None of this happens just because. None of this happens without an incredible amount of hard work and extra effort on the part of not just myself, but also my committee members and our den leaders. At the end of the day, there's a lot more that goes into this than just what I've said in the video. And if anybody's interested or wants more information in how I do things or why I choose to do things a certain way and how I get people more involved, please don't hesitate to reach out. You're welcome to give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text. I'm always around to help out. But remember that at the end of the day, somebody has to drive everything and somebody has to be in charge of getting the things done. And that's the first part to making the puzzle work.